Okay, hello everybody.
Hello,
This is Natalie,
and this is Anna.
and this is our Natalie and Anna's ESL
Chat.
Chit
Chit
Chat.
chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
ESL
ESL Chit
Chitchat.
Chat, Chit Chat. Mm.
Episode 4, by the
Yes,
way.
episode
I am
4. Right, right,
counting.
right, right. I have a story to share. May I? May.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Um, Yeah, this is an interesting story because it made me think whether I'm doing everything correct, right, in the right way in my lessons. Am I the ideal teacher? An ideal teacher. I was reading a story with my student that wasn't a group, that was just a one-to-one class, and we were reading some text about rats, and while
I
yes.
love reds, but I'm amazed that you should.
This is an interesting book. This is a kind of collection of different texts on different topics with quick questions on them. And like there is a section on animals. We've read about squirrels, hummingbirds, myths about cats, and that was time for rats. Pretty logical after the cats, I guess. So there were some kind of contradictory ideas. For example, we read with her that like rats can jump up high, and were kind of baffled. Like, really, do they literally jump up the window and get inside your flat house through it? And she kind of started like my learner. She started doubting the facts. And what would you do, Anna, in that case? Like
I
you are
would,
reading a text, you are discussing it, and it's not that your learner doubts your ability to teach, but she says like, "Oh, Natalie, are you sure it is exactly like this? Maybe the book is not that reliable."
I would Google it.
Bingo. Yeah, that was exactly what I did. By the way, how often do you use do you step off the beaten track, hello, idiomatic expressions, and like do something spontaneously, like off the top of your head and Google something?
Yeah, I do it, especially with, I mean, with CLIL groups, especially because I know that I'm not a history teacher, for example, right? And anyway, there are a lot of things that I don't know. So yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
yes, I do teach CLIL, but like I try to incorporate it into all my classes as far as you know. And
Mhm.
yeah, that was what I did. And by the way, I just opened YouTube or maybe Google. I just don't remember what it was. And we decided, well, we discussed with my learner what to type in. And we type in the search bar like rats, 10 facts about rats or interesting facts about rats. And we came across really interesting facts. By the way, the rats were portrayed from another side in that video because, like in the text, that was more negative approach, like which I completely support. But still,
Oh,
I
you've
do not have
never
a haunted
had rats
house,
at
but I believe
home.
that people who live with rats and who kind of like try to get rid of them in their country houses, for them, this is a big challenge. Yeah,
Okay,
because
yes.
rats are smart. And they are kind of like adjustable to all kinds of environment. This is why it's the main difficulty. So, what would you do, and how do you do these things, these discoveries? Because what I did, we with my learner found the video, we we started watching it and discussing it. We of course tried to predict the facts we expected there, and actually we watched it, and then we came back to the beginning and we started rewatching fact by fact, making pauses and discussing it, so that I was literally going with the flow. And I love such situations. Do you think they kind of useful for learners?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think that it's something that we should all do, at least from time to time. Just while you were telling me, I thought about this situation, when you, for example, read an article, right, or something in your textbook, right, and you then ask your students to make a poster, for example, based on this article, right? And on the one hand, it's a good thing that's about kind of like summing up, right, being able to get some details or some specific info from the text, blah, blah,
Showing
blah.
your creativity.
But in real life, right?
Hmm.
If you do it in Russian, for example, you would never rely on one source. You would always use different sources. You would definitely watch some videos in Russian, right? You would maybe read some articles with Wikipedia, whatever, right? And you would take some info from there as well. So, and I do think that it's something that you need to sometimes to incorporate in your English
Classes.
language
Yeah.
classes, right? And And I mean, like, if you want your students to do that in English themselves at home, how would they do it without you showing them that you do it as well?
Yes, you should
It's
expose
something
them to this.
normal and usual and ordinary.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Sorry to interrupt you. Like, I give you the permission to, yeah, demonstrate the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just
let's,
thinking, okay, I just want to know, honestly. I want to know.
what was the recent thing which you Googled, searched?
The recent thing that I Googled was
Huh?
actually when I was preparing for my the world class on Sunday, and I searched for interesting facts.
Oh, no.
Wait, sorry,
Oh,
we read that in Russian, yeah.
uh-huh.
Interesting facts about Greece.
Okay. So this is the country. I couldn't understand it.
Oh, really? You didn't?
Yes.
You know that the kids got it like on this,
Yeah, I
like,
know. I know. They got it like,
yeah,
there was the
yeah.
talented one who got it after
And
the
apparently
first.
you can see the website that I use mostly,
Mhm.
yeah, because it's purple.
Okay. But sorry to like
Yeah,
restrict
sure.
your creativity flow. So what do? You open the search, any search engine, and you type. What do you type there?
It depends. Like, so we decide what we want to, for example, sometimes the question would be like, let's imagine we discuss Greece and then the kids like, and Greece is much bigger than, I don't know, Italy, right? And I start
Hmm.
thinking like, what's the size, what is Italy's size and what is Greece's size? I don't know, right? And we like, okay, so what is the size of Greece, for example?
Okay. So
Like
like you
we
just
start
whatever
with
you
each
need,
one.
you do
Yeah.
this with the kids. You're not afraid that they believe that you are like an not a professional teacher who is not prepared for her classes, who hasn't Googled the information in advance.
I hope you don't believe that as well, right? I do think
Yeah.
that our aim is not to show that we are a kind of encyclopedia, right? But we are the ones who can guide them through this world of knowledge and who can help them understand how they want
Survive in it and
to
to
survive in it
thrive.
and how they can, for example, choose what sources they can rely on, what sources they cannot rely on, how they can how they can check any info that they find, and so on.
This
So
is
for
why I
me,
love our tandem. That wasn't a planned thing, but like you, you got me in instantly.
so I think that it's more about, like, honestly speaking, right? I think that's what you do. It's more about developing learners' autonomy and
Showing them different ways of using different sources.
right, and developing their habit to do it in English, which is actually quite hard for them. And you know, this skill of like, I don't know, quickly scanning the text and understand whether you need that or not, right?
Yes. And you not to
Or
be afraid
YouTube
to use
video,
this.
yeah, and to start watching a video and then after 10 seconds, oh no, that's I don't like the voice. I'm not going to watch it, for
Yeah.
example.
I can't say that I do this pretty often, especially with groups, but from time to time, I do give some tasks. I divide my learners into groups, I mean, like into smaller groups, pairs or groups of three, and give them a task to find something on the net and then to present their findings to the group. And this happens everything like during the lesson, kind of on the run, and it teaches them that you shouldn't invest a lot of energy and time into this. You can do this within like couple of minutes. Just briefly look for the necessary information. This is important for me. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree
especially
with
in
you.
English. They're used to
Yeah,
the
in
English.
English, right? Yeah, and that's the thing that you kind of like show them that they can do it in English, even when their level is, for example, elementary. It doesn't matter because it depends on what info they need to find. But
Yeah, and they
they can
start
still
like
swim in this ocean of English, right?
cool. It feels like that is it. This is the topic of our today's chit chat. Yeah. So
So, mhm.
I think this is also a useful tip. We shouldn't only give like ideas for class, but this is an idea for a class. Take any tags and off you go.
Yeah. So it could be like, like preparing some questions, right? Like, I don't know, 15 questions.
Yeah,
They
which can
need
encourage their
to-
creativity and like this discovery vibe.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's call this episode is called Developing Learners' Autonomy Through Google.
Whoa, so academic, formalish like
Google.
title.
Google autonomy.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll come up with a title, yes.
Sound good.
Anna, as usual, love you to the moon and back.
Oh, then I will. Oh, how does it go in this book when you love you to the moon and back? And then I need to say, I love you as. I remember this book.
Let it be the topic for our next meeting. Let's call it a day.
Okay, so I will love you to the sun and back.
That's it.
All right, let's stop here, right?
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you.